Right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the online session of MPMC class. In today's class, we will discuss the working mode of 8255. From last few classes, we have been discussing about the interfacing, I/O interfacing of 8086, and that too particularly 8255, which is a programmable peripheral interface. Okay, so in the first class we discussed about the architecture. In the next class, that is in the yesterday's class, we discussed about the command word register. Okay, hope the two classes were clear to you. The architecture and the command word register are clear to you. Now, today the last part of 8255, that is the working modes or operating modes of 8255 that we'll discuss today, right? As we started in the last class, 8255 mainly works in two different modes. One is BSR mode, which is nothing but a bit set reset mode, and the second one is IO mode or active mode. Okay, in IO mode you have three different modes again. That is mode 0, in which all the ports will be working as basic IO ports, and mode 2, in which you have a strobed IO mode. That means mixing of both IO ports and the control signals. And in the mode 2, you will have only bidirectional mode. Okay, so we'll see individually what are these different modes, how they are going to work, and what are different control signals in today's class, right? So this is the one diagram which shows you all the operating modes in the active mode. Okay, so we'll be first discussing about the active mode. Okay, later on we'll extend our discussion to BSR mode. Okay, so this diagram, which is shown on the screen, will be giving you information regarding the three different modes that we discussed: mode 0, mode 1, and mode 2. Okay, as you can see, this is about mode 0, this is about mode 1, and this is about mode 2. Okay, and this is the address bus, control bus, and data bus of 8086. 8086. Okay, and these three resemble the 8255. 8255. Right, do not get confused regarding this. Right, do not get confused regarding this. So these buses are belong to 8086, and these belong to 8255. Okay, right. Now see, in mode 0, you can see here you have three ports. This is port B, this is port C lower, port C upper, and port A. Port A. That means you have all the ports working here, and all the ports are bidirectional. You can see the direction representation here. All the ports are bidirectional, and you can also see here all the ports are working as IO devices or IO ports. So you don't find any control signals here. So it is just working as a basic IO device, basic IO interfacing device. That means for all the ports you can connect either an input device or output device. Okay, that means all the 24 pins, or all the three ports will be working as IO ports, basic IO ports. Okay, that is the representation here, right? Coming to the mode 1 here, if you observe this, you can see port A and port B. Okay, both port A and port B are working as IO ports. Okay, bidirectional IO ports. But whereas coming to the port C here, port C. So this port C is working as either control signal or IO device, either control signal or IO device. And most of these are unidirectional and some of these are bidirectional. Okay, that means when they are working as control signals, they may be unidirectional. When they are working as the IO ports, they may be working in the bidirectional mode. That is why some of the pins of port C, some of the pins of port C are unidirectional and some of them are bidirectional. That means they may be either working as control signals or IO ports. We are going to see what are these control signals, how they will be working in this particular mode. We'll be seeing in detail just a minute. Okay. And coming to the mode 2 here, just try to understand the pictorial representation and general idea regarding mode 0, mode 1 and mode 2. Okay. Coming to mode 2 here, this will not be working at all. Port B will not be working at all, as we have seen in the discussion itself. Okay, in the command word itself, we have seen that mode 2 is not related to group B. Okay, what is group B? Port C lower and port B. So that is why this port B will not be participating in mode 2 operation. Only this port A will be participating in the operation. Port A, that means this is bidirectional. Okay, so it acts as both IO ports, and as you can see, only these signals will be acting as the control signals. So hope you all understood through the diagram. Okay, so the first diagram represents that 8255 operates in basic IO mode. The second diagram shows you that port A and port B working as basic IO ports, and port C will be working as either control signals or IO port signals depending upon the requirement. And coming to the mode 2, only port A will be working as a bidirectional IO port, and the port C higher will be working as a control signal. Now, after having this basic idea, we'll try to understand in detail, okay, what actually happens in mode 0, what actually happens in mode 1, and what are different control signals that we talked about. Okay, we'll now see in detail. Right, see, as I told you, IO mode or active mode. Okay, IO mode can also be called as active mode. In active mode, the first mode is mode 0. The mode 0 can also be called as basic IO mode. Basic IO mode. And as I told you in the diagram itself, two 8-bit ports, port A and port B, and two 4-bit ports, port C upper and port C lower. Okay, are available. Okay, that means all the three ports are available, and the two 4-bit ports can be combined, used as a third 8-bit port. Okay, either they can be used as two separate 4-bit ports, or the port C two parts can be combined and used as a single 8-bit port. Okay, that means all the 24 pins and all the three ports are available for IO mode transfer. Okay, so any port can be used as an input or output port. That is the meaning here. That is the meaning of basic IO mode. Okay, basic IO mode means what? Any of the ports can be used as either input or output port. Okay, a maximum of 4 ports are available, so that overall 16 IO configurations are possible. Okay, as we have 4 ports, that means if you divide the port C into 2 different ports, so overall we will have only 4 ports available, a maximum of 4 ports. So that is why 2 power 4. 2 power 4. 2 power 4 gives you what? 16. 2 power 4 is equal to 16. So 16 IO port configurations we can obtain. That is the meaning here. Okay. So that is the meaning of a basic IO mode, which is mode 0. Okay. So nothing is what you can say confusing in this particular mode. They all the ports available will be working as basic input output ports. Any of the ports can be made as input port, or any of the ports can be made as output port. That is just you have to understand. Okay. So coming back to the what you can say uh, mode 2, sorry, mode 1, the next mode. Here here it is called strobed IO mode. Why it is called strobed IO mode? Okay, so here strobed means exhibiting something. Strobe means what? Exhibiting something is nothing but strobe. Okay, so that means some control signals will be there here. Some control signals will be there. They exhibit some status for you. They exhibit some status for you. Okay, like suppose, for example, in order to make you understand, I'll give you a simple example. While taking photos through camera, you use flashlight. You use flashlight. That flashlight indicates, or the sound that you get from the camera indicates that the photo has been taken. Okay, you'll get a sound after clicking for the photo, or you'll get some flashlight after clicking for the photo. Okay, that flashlight and that sound will be indicating or giving you some status of the camera. That means that the photo has been taken. That is nothing but strobe of the camera. So what is the strobe of camera? The flashlight, or the what you can say, the sound that you get after taking the picture. Okay, that is nothing but strobe. Okay, here also strobed IO mode means what? The ports will be working as IO mode. The ports will be working as either input ports or output ports, but you will have some strobed signals. That means you will have some acknowledgement signals regarding this. That will be okay. So that is why this is called strobed IO mode. Okay, as I told you in the diagram itself, only port A and port B will be working as IO ports, either input port or output port. Okay, only either port A or port B will be working. Okay, the port C will be working as a strobed mode. Okay, so that means all the what you can say, 8 lines of port C, 8 bits of port C will be working as a strobe signal. Okay, so in this mode, the handshaking control the input and output action of the specified port. Okay, so port C lines PC0 to PC2 provides the strobe or handshake lines for port C, and this group, which includes port B and PC0 to PC2, is called group B for strobed input output. So port C lines PC3 to PC5 provides the strobe lines for port A. Okay, hope you all understood. So in this mode, what happens? Port A and port B will be working as the basic IO ports, and for those PC0 to PC2 will be acting as the control signals for port B. That means they will be working as IO mode. Okay, port B will be working as either input port or or output port, but along with control signals. Okay, and similarly, port A will be working as either input port or output port, but the control signals will be what? PC3 to PC5 act as the control signals for port A. Okay, and you can see here only two groups are available. Only two groups, group A and group B, are available for strobe data transfer, and each group contains one 8-bit data IO port and one 4-bit control data port. Okay, so in the out of two groups, uh, you will have one 8-bit IO port, that means either port A or port B. Okay, and one 4-bit control bit. Okay, so control port means what? Port C is the control port. Okay, we'll now see what are different control signals also. Just don't be in a hurry. The 8-bit data port can be either used as input and output port. Okay, so the 8-bit, which is nothing but either port A or port B, we are talking about. This 8-bit data port can be either used as input port or output port. The inputs and outputs both are latched. Okay, so out of 8-bit port C, as I told you, PC0 to PC2 is used to generate control signals for port B. Okay. And the remaining PC3 to PC5 are used to generate the control signals for port A. And PC6, PC7 may be used as independent data lines. Okay. They are not used as control signals. They may be used to either transfer independent data. Okay, hope you all understood. Okay, in mode 2, what happens is I'll just summarize the things. In mode 2, I'll summarize the things. You have port A, you have port B, you have port B. Okay, so these two will be working as IO ports, either input port or output port. These two will be working as either input port or output port. Each port will have how many lines? 8 lines. So these 8 lines will be working as either input or output port depending upon our requirement. Along with these ports, this PC, okay, PC3 to PC5, okay, PC3 to PC5, which is nothing but the upper nibble of port C will be working as the control signals for port A, and similarly for port B, PC0 to PC right. See, for port B, PC0 to PC2 will be working as the control signals. The remaining PC6, PC5, PC7 will be working as independent data lines. Now, after understanding this, we now understand what are these control signals. We know what is input port and what is output port. Here, a new word called the control signals. Okay, we are talking about control signals. So what are those control signals? We will see. Okay. See, input control signal definitions of mode 1. Okay, if you are working as, suppose we have port A and port B as IO ports. Suppose if port A is working as input port, if port A is working as input port, let us say. Okay, okay, if port A is working as input port, for that input port, what are different control signals? Input control signals. Okay, strobe input. What is this strobe input? If these lines fall logical low, the data available at 8-bit input port is loaded into the input latches. Suppose that, as I told you, if port A is working as input port, for port A you will have how many lines? 8 lines. So 8 bits of data will be having. Okay. So that 8 bits of data will be loaded into the data bus buffer. You have data bus buffer na? You have data bus buffer na? So when this strobe input signal is logical low, when this strobe input signal is logic low, that means when it is equal to 0, when the strobe input signal is equal to 0, what happens? The 8 bits, the 8 bits of port A, the 8 bits of port A will be loaded to the data bus buffer of 8255. Okay, data bus buffer of 8255. That is the meaning. Next signal is IBF, input buffer full. Input buffer full. So what does this indicate? If the signal rises to logic 1, that means when this IBF is equal to 1, it indicates that the data has been loaded into the latches. Okay, the data has been loaded into the latches. That means it is working as an acknowledgement. That is, it is working as an acknowledgement, and IBF is set by low on the STB, and it is reset by the raising edge of the RD input. Okay, so I'll explain this. See, in the first case, what happened when this STB is equal to 0, and this STB is equal to 0, what happened? All the input 8-bit lines, all the input 8-bit data got started loading into the data bus buffer. Okay. Now, when this IBF is equal to 0, what does this indicate? When this IBF is equal to 1, IBF is equal to 1, what happens? It indicates that the data bus buffer is full. It is indicating that all the 8 bits of the input port got loaded into the data bus buffer, and the data lines are full now. That means here you can understand that these two are interrelated. That means STB signal starts the data loading. STB signal initiates the data loading into the data bus buffer, and IBF indicates the finishing, okay, completion of this data loading into the data bus buffer. Okay, that means it is acting as an acknowledgement. Okay, the process started by this STB is finished when IBF is equal to 1. Okay, so in order to have IBF as 1, we need STB as 0. Only when STB is 0, we can have IBF as 1. Okay, because STB initiates the data transfer, and IBF indicates that the data transfer is completed. Okay. Next, interrupt request. Next signal is what? Interrupt request. Okay, so this is an active high output signal. It is an active high output signal and can be used to interrupt the CPU. Whenever the input device requests the service. Okay, that means what happens? We have completed the data transfer into data bus buffer, and we need that data to transfer to the 8086. So in that case, what happens is 8255 sends an interrupt request. That you have some data to receive. From 8255. Okay, so then 8255 sends an interrupt request to the CPU. That signal is active high signal. That signal is what? Active high signal. Okay, so that is about interrupt request. These are all the three signals when a port is operating as input port. When a port is operating as the input port, you need to use these three signals. One is strobe input signal, the second one is input buffer full signal, and the third one is interrupt request. Okay, so here interrupt request is reset by falling edge of the RD input. Thus, an external input device can be request the service of the processor by putting the data on the pulse and sending the strobe signal. Okay, so you can send this interrupt request signal only when IBF is equal to 1, and only when IBF is equal to 1. Okay, here you can see that when you have high on the IBF pin, then only you can send the interrupt request. Okay, that means when you have data bus buffer full, then only you can send the interrupt request to the CPU, which is nothing but processor 8086. Hope the control signals are clear to you. Next, we will see the diagrammatic representation. See the diagrammatic representation. See here. See here, we have strobe signal. See, this is strobe signal, strobe input signal, right? So this strobe input signal is 0. When this is 0, you can see IBF is 1. IBF is what? 1. Okay. So this signal initiates the data transfer, and this IBF will be indicating, here you can see, this IBF will be indicating the data bus buffer full. After IBF is full here, then interrupt request is active high. Interrupt request is active high. When this interrupt request is processed, then you will have this read operation by the processor. And the data will be transferred. That is the meaning here. Okay. So until the data is processed, the IBF signal remains 1 only. After data reading process is completed, then only this IBF signal will be made equal to 0. Okay. Hope the things are clear to you. So first, STB signal will go low in order to initiate the data transfer. So this IBF signal indicates that the data is full, and when the data is full here, the interrupt request is sent to the CPU. When the interrupt request is processed, the data reading process starts. After the data reading process is completed, then this IBF gets empty. Okay, that this IBF data bus buffer gets empty. Okay, once the data is read, the data bus buffer is empty. So in order to indicate that, the IBF will go to 0. Okay, that is the meaning. Hope the diagrammatic representation is clear. Now let us see what are different output signals we have. Similar to the input, if the port is working as output port, then also you need some control signals. So what are different output control signals we see now? See, these are the three output control signals here. OBF means what? Output buffer full. See, output means what? When some port is working as output port means what? It is receiving data from 8086 to the external device like monitor. Okay, monitor is an output device, right? Okay, so some monitor. So 8086 is sending some data to the output device. Suppose that some port, either port A or port B, is working as as an output port. Then these are the three control signals that are used. Okay. So first one is what? Output buffer full. This signal indicates what? That the data from the 8086 has been completely received and loaded into the data bus buffer and it is full. Okay. So this is the status signal, and whenever it falls low, it indicates that the CPU has written the data. See, the CPU has written the data to a specified output port. Okay, hope the thing is clear to you now. Okay, so in 8255 you have data bus buffer na. In 8255 you have data bus buffer D0 to D7 lines. Okay, so those will be filled up by the CPU, that means the 8086 processor. Okay, and that data will be transferred to the output port to which it is connected. See, acknowledgement input. Okay, so this signal acts as an acknowledgement to be given by the output device. Okay, to be given by the output device. What is the output device that is connected here? Monitor, let us say. So this monitor gives you the acknowledgement signal. What is that signal? Whenever it is low, it informs the CPU, that the data transferred by the CPU, to the output device through the port is received by the output device. So what does the first signal indicated? The first signal indicated that the CPU has loaded the data into the data bus buffer. Okay. And similarly, the acknowledgement signal is what? The data has been received by this monitor or the output device. So this monitor sends an acknowledgement signal that the data sent by you, the data sent by 8086 has been received by me. Okay. So that acknowledgement will be sent to the 8086. Okay. 8086 sent the data to monitor, and monitor sends an acknowledgement signal that I have received your data with an active low signal, And similarly, this is an interrupt request. Interrupt, what does this interrupt signal? So this is an output signal that can be used to interrupt the CPU. When an output device acknowledges the data received from CPU. Okay. So this, when you send the acknowledgement, that has to be received by 8086 na? When you send the acknowledgement signal that your data has been received, so that acknowledgement has to be received by 8086. And when you send the acknowledgement signal to 8086, the 8086 gets interrupted. Okay. So that is about the output control signal. Let us now see the diagrammatic representation. Okay. Diagrammatic representation you can see here. See, this is the diagrammatic representation. So when you are writing, this write operation is done by whom? 8086. 8086 writes onto the output device, let us say monitor. Okay. So 8086 writes the write operation, and when the write operation is completed, then it indicates that the output buffer is full. That means D0 to D7 is completely loaded. D0 to D7 is completely loaded. Okay. When this is completely loaded, you will have the acknowledgement. Okay. You can see here. After completely loading, you will have some acknowledgement that the data is received. So in order to have that acknowledgement, we need to first send the interrupt request. Okay. So that is the thing here. After write operation is done, the OBF signal indicates that output buffer is full. and after filling that, you'll have an interrupt request, and after receiving the data by the 8086, the acknowledgement is sent. Okay, so all the signals are active low. All the signals are active low only. Interrupt signal is active low. Acknowledgement signal is active low. All the signals are active low signals only. Okay. So now the output signals and input signals are completed. Suppose let us say if port A is working as an input port, if port A is working as an input port, then what did I tell you? PC 3 to PC 5. PC 5 will be working as the input control signals. Will be working as what? Input control signals that we talked about. What are different input control signals? Strobe. Strobe is one input control signal. STB. STB is one input control signal. IBF, input buffer full. Input buffer full. Okay. Input buffer full is another control signal. And what is the third signal that will enter? Interrupt request is the third signal. Okay, interrupt request is the third signal, INTR. Similarly, this is for input port. And let us say if we have port B, let us say port B is working as the output port. So for this output port also, you will have control signals. So what are those control signals? The control signals are PC0 to PC2, PC2, PC2. Okay. And what are these control signals? One is OBF, which is output buffer full, and the second one is interrupt request, and the third one is what? Acknowledgement. Okay. So this belongs to group B. Group B. Okay. This belongs to group B, and this belongs to group A. This belongs to group A. So whatever the port which is working as input port will have input control signals, and whatever the port which is working as output port will have output control signals. Okay. Hope mode 0 and mode 1 are clear. Mode 1 are clear to you. Okay. Now you have just a minute. Mode 2. Okay. So in mode 2, what happens is strobed bidirectional mode. So what does this indicate? Strobed bidirectional mode. In this mode, 8255 is a bidirectional 8-bit port. That means only 8 bits will be working as a bidirectional port. The remaining, okay, and as you all know, group B, okay, which is port B and port C lower will not be working in mode 2. Only group A will be working in the mode 2. Okay. And the read and write signals decide whether 8255 is going to operate as an input port or output port. Okay. So depending upon the read and write signals, the port which is having, okay, mostly port A will be operating as input port or output port depending upon the read write signals. If you write the things, it works as the output port. If you read the signals, it works as the input port. Okay. So the signal, the single 8-bit port group A is available only. Okay. And for those, you have control signals. You have the control signals. The 8-bit port is a bidirectional, and additionally 5 control ports is available. 5 control port signals are available, and 3 IO lines are available at port C. Okay, and these 5 port C, PC3 to PC7 is used for generating the handshake signals. That means handshake signals are nothing but what? Control signals that we discussed. Okay. I think the time is finished. We'll stop here. It is already 10:56. The next faculty might be waiting. We'll discuss this, what you can say, mode 2 and another bit set mode, BSR mode, in the next class. Okay. I'll stop here for today. If there are any doubts also, I'll clarify in the next class. So thank you all for joining. Thank you. And